Do you know what protective factors are? So, protective factors are positive personal characteristics like a positive attitude, skills like coping strategies, or external resources such as social support that help individuals cope with stress. They reduce the negative effects of risk factors, and they promote the well-being and resilience in the face of adversity. So I think when it comes down to protective factors, we have to be cognizant and we have to be vigilant of the protective factors that we use when we are in a high stress space. Or if you've ever heard of prevention is better than cure, it is also important to establish these protective factors before we even get into a space of high stress, right? We want to anticipate the degree of stress that we'll have based on our previous behaviors and create protective factors or have coping strategies, healthy coping strategies, and other protective factors to help us better mitigate the upcoming stress. Because in our human lives, there will be stress. And stress is not technically a bad thing, or it can be a good thing. We'll talk about that later. But terrible, excessive stress, we want to be able to have protective factors against those. So some protective factors are like, maybe you have positive self-talk, right? And that's where the affirmations and all of that comes from. Maybe people are trying to manifest the good things in their lives, such as that. Maybe you have social support, such as good family members, good other interpersonal dynamics, right? Maybe it's in your community. For me, one of my protective factors is church. I know that I can always go to church and connect with people in my community and they will pray for me, things like that. But one of the things I've actually learned and I've come to appreciate is the fact that the protective factors I have in interpersonal dynamics, I have sustained those. One of the reasons I've sustained those because I do not envy people. I cheer for people and I genuinely want the best for people. So protective factors, if I have any question about anything, I know somebody that can answer it. That's in my community, in my networks. Like if I have questions regarding my health, I know several doctors. If I have questions regarding anything legal, I know several lawyers. So it's like I've built protective factors that can help me mitigate any potential future stressors. So I really want to encourage anyone that is watching this, what are your protective factors and how can you start establishing the networks and the frameworks for these protective factors that will help you with the upcoming stress, because you're a human being. There will be excessive stress at some point in your life, but you want to be able to have preventative measures to help you mitigate these things before these things even occur, right? So I just really want to encourage you, pay attention to your protective factors and don't take these people for granted if they're in your interpersonal dynamics. Be kind to them, treat them well, because you are going to need them at some point in your life.